Hey y'all, happy Tuesday this week. Sorry I didn't post a video this weekend. I was down in Southern California visiting my family. Had a really good time seeing my nephews and my niece and my brother and my mom. So I wasn't posting a video this weekend, but I thought I would still post a video this week. So welcome back to another session of Better Out Than In, Real Talk with Kai. So last week I brought Darren on and we just spent a couple of minutes just talking about how it is for him dating somebody with type 1 diabetes and when we initially started dating. Today I'll be talking about just a little more of how it was for me telling a person who I was talking to or dating about my type 1 diabetes and just kind of the mental state it kind of put me in um, for expressing that to the person who I was having relations with. And so in the beginning, when I first got diagnosed, I wasn't really dating. You know, you have little boyfriends and girlfriends here or whatever, but wasn't really dating. But when I did start dating, I didn't tell the person who I was talking to about my diabetes. Like, I just didn't say anything. Like, it was just a normal type of thing. We'd go hang out, go to movies, do things like that, and I wouldn't say anything about my diabetes. It wasn't until I was in maybe the 10th grade or something like that, after I had the insulin pump, and it stopped working. I didn't use it anymore. But in the 10th grade, I was talking to someone and we were hanging out at the mall, and my blood sugar started to go low, and I was like, damn, I need some candy. And that person was just like, what you need candy for? Like, why all of a sudden you just want some candy? That's hella weird. Like, we didn't even smoke yet, or we didn't do nothing yet for you to have the munchies or nothing. And I'm just like, well, because I got diabetes and my sugar low. And they kind of looked at me like, I never knew you had diabetes. How long you had diabetes? And I'm like, since I was like 11. And it was just like a total shock to them. Like, why? We've been talking for a minute and you never said nothing about no diabetes. And it's like, well, now you know. Okay, I need some candy. And kind of just brushed it over. It wasn't something that I felt like I needed to tell somebody who I don't think would have accepted it. It's hard for a person who has diabetes to try to tell somebody who may not be that educated about diabetes about it, or that they have it, because the fear of someone's reaction to you, or the fear of them not wanting to talk to you anymore, or um, just, I don't know how to really explain it, but it is a fear based thing of not sharing it. And so after that incident, and the person was like, oh, okay, I'll give you some candy, like, you should have been said something. um it was a little more reassuring that it was like, okay, people aren't as um mean about it as I guess I was in my head about. And I think I thought people's reaction would be like, ew, something's wrong with you, or ew, you have diabetes, but it wasn't that. You know, I think a lot of times when people were like, well, can you eat that, or are you supposed to be doing this, was more out of concern than it was out of judgment or disgust. And so before I realized that, because I didn't really realize that until, like I said, after I expressed that I had the diabetes and I need the candy. But prior to that, a lot of the time for me in my head, I was afraid to share, and it kind of was like a wall put up. And it, for me, it was like, damn, like, I can't tell nobody I got this. Like, it just was embarrassing, because it's like, you walk around and you have these needles and stuff, and I don't want nobody thinking I'm shooting up like dope or nothing like that, because people can be ignorant like that. People can be mean like that. And I just didn't want to leave any opportunity for people to make those assumptions, or to treat me different. And I think that was another fear factor of mine, was that people would treat me so much different if they found out, versus them not knowing that anything was wrong and just go about our day normal as if nothing was different. And the mental part of that for me started to become a little more toxic, because, again, my own assumptions of what people may have thought or said to me, if I would have shared to them that I had diabetes, took more of a toll on me than me actually sharing to them that I had it. And so the toxicity of it became more of an attitude based toward people, when I wanted to tell them, but because of my own fear, I didn't say anything. And then it led to me being more shut down and more irritable, because they would say something or do something, or it would be like something I couldn't do, I knew I shouldn't be doing or having, but they didn't know because I never said anything. And it's like, well, how am I mad at them because I didn't say anything? And so I always had this kind of inner war with myself of, well, hey, either you're going to say something or you're not. And that choice ultimately was mine, right? And so a lot of the time I chose not to say anything, and it just ate me up a lot of the time. And so I'm sharing this because I think even in any type of scenario of life, when there are things happening and you decide that you want to keep it to yourself, when there is a type of situation that you can be getting help or having support with a certain situation, I think it's easier for us to say something, because we never know who's going through the same things, or who has some type of knowledge to help you, resources to help you. And in high school, I found out that a family member, I would say, we're kind of like cousins. We're not real like blood cousins, but we share cousins. And so we share family members. So we're kind of like in the same family and we happen to be the same age and going to the same school at the time. I found out that she had diabetes. And I think she found out she had diabetes while we were in high school, I believe. And we weren't that close. So I always wanted to like talk to this person and tell her like, hey, like I'm going through this too. And, can we talk about it together? Or, could we, like, if I'm going through something, can I hit you up? But I was never that person to reach out to people. And I don't think for her, I don't think it was that easy for her either. And especially in high school, if you're finding out you have, type 1 diabetes, shit, that probably is harder than it is for me at 11, because now you're already in your teenage years. You're already hanging out and going to parties and doing stuff like that. So it was probably harder for her, but we never connected on that level. And I kind of regret that I never really reached out and did that. And so, since I've been doing these videos, I did reach out to that person and DM that person on Instagram and to see if she will, watch my videos and just check in and see how her diabetes was going. And, it's a battle. It's a battle. And she's still, having this uphill battle with the diabetes and trying to get it under control. So hopefully she's watching this video and hopefully she knows who I'm talking about her. but I plan to start a Facebook group for type 1 diabetics, women specifically, to have just that support group, because um, not having anybody to talk about it with, or being afraid to share things with in any type of relationship, friendship, in an intimate relationship, which is a little harder than a regular friendship, because with your friends, you hanging out, you kicking it, you could tell them. But in an intimate relationship, it's a little different, because it's like it's a different level of a relations, and so when you get to a certain part of that relationship, in an intimate relationship, then other feelings get involved, and so it's harder to express that you have a disease that's not contractable or spreadable, but that you have something. It's always harder to tell somebody or to deal with that. And I just think, now that I'm older, I think, if anybody's watching this who is in their teen years or young adult years, who has type 1 diabetes and is dating, like, I think it's very vital and important to share that aspect of your life with the person that you are intimate with or building some type of relationship with, because in the long haul, you never know if you're going to end up being with this person for a long time, what type of friendship will come out of it, or if you guys will just be friends for a long time. But, if you guys are in a home together and you sleep, your sugar can drop low. Like, they need to know, so they know if they need to help you in the middle of the night, go get you some juice or something if you don't have it, or, what to do. Plan ahead accordingly. Is something I didn't do when I was younger that I suggest should be done. And if you're dating somebody who has diabetes, just, again, like we were saying last week, try not to be overbearing, but to still just be that support system, and try to help keep that person on track, and just kind of take that journey with them. But if you're not comfortable doing everything that's part of their journey, that's okay. But just supporting them, and reassurance that it's okay that you are okay with them having this disease, even though you guys don't have a choice. I mean, you do, if you don't want to be with this person because of their diabetes, which is really fucked up. But if that's your choice, you don't have to. But if you choose to stay with that person, I think being that support and reassuring them that it's okay. It's normal. A lot of people have it, and it's something I think a lot of people in relationships should talk about frequently, to check in, how are your levels? Have you checked in with your RN or your endocrinologist about your diabetes? What are they saying? Is everything stable? So those type of things, just getting to know a little bit more about it. The person with diabetes, just talking more about it to educate the person you're with more about it, so that they know what to look out for, what to expect, and things like that. So if you hold it in and not really share with people, especially a significant other or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, it takes that mental toll on you, because again, there you are feeling like you're alone when you're in a relationship with someone, or, a relationship is meant to be two people working together. And if you can't talk about something that is a part of you, then it's not right. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then it's not right. And so I just want to share that, because, as a teenager, for me, a lot of things weren't told to me in that way, in the aspect of diabetes. I got a lot of game when it came to dating and, talking to people, and street smart things, and just what to look out for and things like that. But when it came to, talking about my diabetes and sharing information and how-tos and what to do's and things like that. Because nobody was educated about my diabetes, I didn't educate anybody about my diabetes. But, again, now there's so much information out there. There's new development technology for diabetes that, I think a lot more people know what it is, at least heard of it. And so it should be something that's talked about in your relationship if you have it or if you're dating somebody who has it. And I just wanted to make a video about that because, again, mentally that can be stressful on its own, along with having a diabetes. And as I mentioned, my first videos, that stress is a leading factor in diabetes, high blood sugar, things like that. So, the less stress you can have is the better. And that's overall health. The less stress we can have is better. So, I just wanted to share that. Next week, I'll be coming on. I might come on Sunday. I might come on Monday. I'm not sure. But I might be coming on and just talking about a little more about nutrition-wise, like eating habits some more. I'll kind of get a little more depth into that. And then I'll be talking about how leading into my adult life, how I changed my diet a little bit, but then I got some news from my doctor once I changed over from pediatric doctors to adult medicine, and the kind of news I got and what kind of transpired from there. So I hope you guys continue to watch, like, share, and subscribe. God bless.